Good morning, Father.
Good morning. early morning.
Yeah, what time is it?
Right now it's just a little bit after 4:20. In order to make our anchorage that we're looking for in the berries, we wanted to make sure we got an early start, so we got up at 3:30 this morning when we left the dock before 4 o'clock. But it's a beautiful evening, early morning. Sea is almost flat calm, and a lot different than the last time we were out on the water in the dark.
For sure, yeah. I did take half of a boning tablet just in case, but right now I don't think I need it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, I thought people might be interested in some of the instruments we're using for our navigation.
Yeah. So I think we should start over here.
Yeah.
So over here we have on the left, you probably can't read the little label, but it says speed. So we're going 6 knots right now.
Just to clarify, that's speed through the water. It's not the actual speed over the ground. In other words, it's how fast we're moving through the water. So sometimes that's different than your actual speed, because the water, if you have a current or a wind or whatever, could be blowing the boat. Could be moving the water past the boat at a different speed than the boat is actually going.
So we do have because we have GPS on the chart plotter, we will be able to tell our speed over land, as it were. And then next to it we have the depth sounder. Right now you can see that it's showing 2 lines. That is not an error. It just means that it's deeper than the depth sounder is designed to handle. And if it's deeper than the depth sounder is designed to handle, then it's deep enough that we don't need to worry about it. The boat draws 4.5 feet, so it's really less than that we're worried about. And you know, you use it to find, if you notice it getting much shallower, you use it to figure out, you know, where is the water safe, so you can use that. But right now we don't need to worry about it. We have a compass down here, your traditional compass, so you can take a heading and use that, which a lot of times is the best way, because you're not relying on the GPS speed or the lag that happens when you're doing it digitally. Over here we have the chart plotter, and on it you can see a little icon of our boat. You can see the course that we plotted to get to where we're going. That's the line in the middle. And then you can see all around it, you can see the numbers are the charted depth in this part of the ocean, so it's pretty deep.
Yeah, right now we're in almost 2,000 feet of water.
Yeah, so we're not worried about that. Kind of at the bottom you can see a bunch of things that are obstructions or potential hazards, rocks or coral heads or something like that. And then you can see a little at the bottom.
Talking about over here.
Yeah. And then a little bit on the right, you can see a little buoy. Right. And so all those little things with the little flags on them are navigation aids. So you can see those when you get close enough, but you can use that on the chart to kind of aim for them. And then on the right, you have all the information you might need. Well, it's a lot of information. So the distance to where we're going, 54.7 nautical miles. When we would arrive, or will arrive if we maintain our present speed and course. It tells us what our bearing should be. It tells us on the right, the compass, the GPS heading, what our heading is. Tells us, like we said, our GPS speed, which is the speed if we were moving over land. So sort of our true speed.
Our actual speed.
Yeah. So I'm looking over at the water speed, the knot meter, and it says 5.7. So you can see there's a slight discrepancy there. So there might be a current, or there's no wind right now. So there's something, maybe the tide or something pushing against us.
The tide is coming. The tide is going out. Yeah, that could just be the tide.
It could be some. Yeah, I don't know. And then over here to the right, we've got the wind meter. So that instrument is at the top of the mast, and it tells us what direction the wind is coming from, and the speed of the wind.
So it shows that the wind is coming off of the port side or the left side of the boat, and it's at 84 degrees in relationship to the boat. And then this shows the speed of the wind. This is why we're motoring. It's the speed is only 2.6 knots, which is about 3 miles an hour. So it's not enough wind for us to sail. And we're actually making that wind ourselves as we move through the air. We're pushing. Just like when you ride your bicycle, you always feel like the wind on your face. That's the wind that you're making by going forward.
And
so
sadly,
we actually have no wind at all.
Sadly, you can't make your own wind when you're sailing.
No.
That doesn't work.
No.
And then right next to it, there's just you'll probably just see some bright lights. That is the auto helm. And you'll notice that I'm holding a camera, and Dad is drinking coffee. And that means that no one's driving the boat, except for this guy, which is just the little arm you see here with the ram. That is the auto helm, and that is connected to the other instrument that you see here with the lights on it. And on that, once you set your course, once you've got your tiller and your sails, if you were sailing or whatever set up, you can set the course, and then you can use that to make minor adjustments. That enables you to make movies and drink coffee when you're moving.
And then go to the bathroom, right?
Right. So we are planning right now, if we maintain this speed, we're going to get there around 3 o'clock. And it is 4:30 in the morning right now. So that's a long time to, be holding on to a tiller. It could be even with 2 people. Yeah. I think that's pretty exhausting. So it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any last words before we?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it would be nice if we could show them what a beautiful night it is.
Yeah, I'll go out and try to get some footage there, and then we'll probably be back. Hopefully, once we set the sails, and we can show you some contrast here. So I'm gonna move out of the cockpit. It's a very quiet night, other than us. And I don't know if you can see, but got the moon up there. And, I can just basically see stars. You probably can't see them on here. And then back, that is Grand Bahama Island, whence we came. So yeah, we're hoping for a smooth journey. We're pretty excited because this is a part of the Bahamas that not only have I not been to, which is all of it, but Dad has also not visited, and it's supposed to be some of the less developed parts of the Bahamas, sort of as the Bahamas used to be, in a sense. So with that, we will talk to you later. Bye. So it's a couple hours later. The sun is coming up, and we're going to see if we can sail. So it's a little hard to get an angle on this, but so Dad is pulling on the line that extends the head sail. And there we are.
motor sailing for a little bit, and we were going, before we put the sails up, we were going about 5.6 knots. Now I have the motor in neutral and the sails up, and we're doing 6.2, 6.3 knots, something like that. But we're still probably got a little momentum from having the motor up. When you're motoring, you're affecting the wind's effect on the boat, so we really have to stop using the motor to see if we can actually get a good sail. We have wind, as you can see, on the forward port quarter, so we're like what you call in a close haul. We're sailing close to the wind, meaning the bow of the boat is turned about as close to the wind as you can get. Although we've got this looking pretty good actually right now. So I think we may have talked about how there's a difference between the apparent wind and the true wind. So this is showing the apparent wind is blowing at 12 knots, and the apparent wind is this shadow right here. That's where the wind is hitting the boat, because as we're moving forward, it affects the wind, and it's where it hits the boat. This little arrow here is the true wind. So if we stop the boat, that's where the wind would be coming from. It looks like we're sailing right now.
It does. Yeah. There's I'm
going to go ahead and shut this down.
Okay. There's going to be an annoying sound. Yeah, that sound tells you that the key is turned in the ignition, but the motor isn't on, so it's very annoying. And now.
So right now we're still holding a speed of about 6 knots, and it's a lot quieter. It'll probably drop some, because obviously when we were motoring and sailing, we were getting a little more speed. But this still puts us in, if we continue at this speed, and you can see it is dropping now. But if we can keep it about 5 knots, we'll be happy with that and be able to get in to our destination before dark. Right now it looks like we're going to get there around 2 o'clock.
I like that.
Yeah, good time to get in.
Yeah.
It gives us some flexibility. Okay, another thing we may have pointed out before, but you can see this flashing red on the screen occasionally. It just went away. And that's telling us that you see the red, you can see this looks like a symbol of a wrecked ship. That's telling us that we're on a collision course with this boat that's coming up behind us, which is another sailboat. And you can see it right directly behind us.
It's hard to see in the camera, but it's there.
Yeah. So he's sailing. I've been watching him. He was sailing about a half a knot faster than us. So he's gradually catching up with us. And according to our chart plotter, we will collide with him in about 30 minutes.
Slow motion collision.
Yeah.
We have ample warning though.
Yeah.
And they can see us. They can't see us on the plotter. We don't have the system that makes us appear as a little red triangle on their system.
Yeah.
But we are in front of them. Our sails are up, so doubtless they can see us.
They have automatic identification system, an AIS, which is required for ships, for boats over 60 feet, and anything less than that, it's voluntary. We have a receiver, but not a transmitter, so we can see them, and they can't see us, just because of the nature of the equipment that I have. So we can always contact them if it looks like they're not aware of where we are, and we have done that many times. It's very convenient to know the course of someone who's even close to you, because in the past you just had to it's always very difficult to judge the course of a boat that's far off, and particularly at night it's very confusing because you have no depth perception at night, of course. So this is a very, very helpful device.
The nice thing is you can sort of click on one of these guys and look at a lot of information about them. So you can get their name, you can get how fast they're going, sometimes you can get their destination, and that can help you figure out kind of where they're headed. But if you have their name, then it's, you know, that much easier to get on the radio. Everyone's monitoring channel 16, or they're supposed to be, and you can call them and say, you know, hey, we're the boat, you know, to your port, we're the boat behind, ahead of you, whatever it is, and what do you want us to do? Or you can say, you know, I'm going to keep this course, or, you know, you can work it out.
Yeah, it's a very nice device, very good safety device. People use it obviously as warnings and just as courtesy. If somebody says, you know, we're going to be passing you on your port side or your starboard side, or and even the big commercial vessels we've found to be very responsive when you contact them.
They don't want to hit you either.
No.
So, you know, we've had a couple already this trip where, you know, I just call up the big barge in front of us and say, hey, we're going to keep you on our port. Is that good? And they'll say yay or nay.
But it's still a beautiful morning. You can probably get a nice view now, Chris, of the sea state and the sunrise.
There it is. You might get some wind noise because I haven't baffled the mic yet, but...
Yeah. It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
It's just now 7 o'clock.
Just now 7. So we will continue to keep you apprised of our journey. See you next time. Hey, so we are just coming in to the Berry Islands now. We've taken all the sails down, and it's hard to film when we're doing that, but we are now in between the Great Stirrup Key and Little Stirrup Key, I think. It's the northernmost part of the Berries. Dad is out on the bow. I don't know if you can see him, but he is going to look for a place to drop anchor. And so right now, we're just keeping an eye on the depth, the rocks around us, and the direction of the wind to make sure we drop anchor in a place that's gonna catch hold in the sand and be comfortable for us. I know we're in the Bahamas and I'm wearing my sweatshirt. It's pretty warm, but it's been breezy the whole day, so I haven't felt like taking it off yet. And yeah. So far it is beautiful down here. The water is like varying layers of aquamarine and teal, and it's just amazing. Anyway, there's supposed to be some good snorkeling around here, which I haven't really gotten to try yet. And there's a settlement called Bullock's Harbor, which seems really interesting. Seems to have kind of its own character, some restaurants and shops, and you know, its own marina. But it's also got the remains of what used to be a resort that the Rat Pack hang out at. So it's got the remains of a golf course and the sort of stone outbuildings and stuff from the resort that you can explore. So right now I'm going to turn towards where we thought the anchorage should be, which we've kind of plotted out ahead of time. And then I'm also going to check the direction of the wind, because when the wind blows you back, and it helps to set your anchor and helps make sure that you're in the spot that you intend to stay. It's deeper than that, because you got to add in how much of the boat, where the sensor is, and add that on. rock or something, it's liable to get loose and drag. Back on the anchor to see if it's caught. What? 6. Now that we're not moving, I can definitely feel it warming up. Reverse. Said I need to go in reverse more. Yeah. Obviously you want to make sure your anchor is secure because you don't want your boat to run into anything. You good? All right. Turn off the engine. And here we are in Slaughter Harbor. And we'll say hi to you next time. And then one final note for the day, this is where we are. So we will spend the night here, and then in the morning probably figure out if we want to explore this area at all, or go down to Bullock's Harbor and find another anchorage and see what they have there. All right, bye-bye for now.